So lastly, I want to talk about how we can write our own functions, how we can figure out what function we want to write, give it a name, and then put some code inside of it. And that's kind of what you're doing here, is you're going to declare a function at the bottom of your program, and you're going to call it every time you need to use it. So let's say in our workspace, right? What is a function anyway? A function is some way for us to avoid repeating ourselves over and over again. It's some way for us to figure out, hey, what are the things that we're repeating instead of us always typing it all the way out? Why don't we just give it a name? And anytime we use that name, it's going to represent the code that we've chunked together. So if we take a look at our workspace, is there anything that we're saying over and over again? We see Cat's Diary. We don't see that anywhere else. We see Monday. Then we see morning, slept in late, noon, lunch, afternoon, scratched up furniture, slept in a sunny spot, evening, hide. On Tuesday, what did we do? The same four things. On Wednesday, what did we do? The same four things. Thursday, the same things. Friday, the same four things. So we see, hey, we keep on repeating this block of code, right? So instead of us always typing out these four lines, why don't we create a function? And now anytime we want to do those four lines, instead of having to type four lines, we're just going to type one line, which is going to be the function that we're going to make. So at the bottom, let's declare our function, right? Declaring our function is laying out the contract, figuring out what are the details of this function going to be. So what we're going to do is, 1 second. I want to put a space. So let's actually put a comment. Right? We're about to define a function, making our own function. So down here, let's go ahead and take a function block. So what is this function going to represent? Because when we want to figure out a name for a function, we want to give it a good name, something that's going to accurately describe what it does. So it looks like these are the things that we do every day, right? These are, say, our routine. So let's call this function routine, right? Now, what are the things that are part of our routine? Every day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what do? We go ahead and in the morning, we sleep in late, right? So what we can do is we can take a console.log and we say, okay, in the morning, we are going to sleep in late, right? Or slept in late. Slept in late. Cool. Then what do? Right? Then on noon, we have lunch. So even instead of dragging one from here, we can just take this directly from here and say we're going to put it in there. We do the same thing with afternoon and evening. Right? And if we want to delete something, I believe we can just drag it out. Okay. So we don't actually want to drag that part out. But okay, so now everywhere that we're supposed to do these four things, we're going to replace it with every single place where we do these four things: slept in late, lunch, scratched up furniture, and evening. We're going to replace with our function now. So we can get rid of all these things because we're no longer are we going to type it all the time, right? We can get rid of all those things. Get rid of them, right? And what are we going to replace it with? We want to replace it with our routine. So what we do is we're not going to declare the function again. This time we're going to call it. So take a look. This said declare or define a function. This is when we want to call it. So on Monday, we want to call our routine. On Monday, we want to actually do our routine. And we want to do the same routine on Tuesday. Right? We also want to call our routine. So what you'll do to finish the program is you're going to call this routine on Wednesday, call it on Thursday, call it on Friday, and then you're going to run it. And every time it sees routine, it'll come down and say, hey, when I see routine, what does that mean? That means in the morning you slept in late, at noon you ate lunch, in the afternoon you scratched the furniture, and in the evening you hid.